Hey, Edgar community. I am super excited to bring you Kathleen from the Diamond Academy today. And we're going to dive into some really cool motivational aspects as well as self-care stuff that as an entrepreneur and solopreneur, a lot of us tend to put on the back burner. But sometimes bringing that to the forefront can make the biggest difference to our business. So I'm going to pass it over to Kathleen real quick to introduce who she is, to introduce what she does, and then we'll get into a little bit of a conversation about it. So Kathleen, go right ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. So my name is Kathleen Cameron. I'm a mom of two beautiful girls, which they are the light of my life. And I'm a registered nurse by background, by trade. But I've moved over into entrepreneurship. So the past 2 years is when my entrepreneurship journey started. And then just last June, so 1 year ago, I resigned from my nursing position and didn't renew my license. So I started in the network marketing industry and I've moved over now to coaching. So I work with Bob Proctor as one of his coaches, and I help people to, what I like to say is to step into your greatness. So become your true self and use your mindset to create whatever it is that you want in your life, whether that's financial success, business success, health, relationships, love, whatever that is. I love to help inspire people in those parts of their life.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Now, before we dive into the cool mindset stuff, I just love to know, what was it that allowed you to take the leap from leaving your nursing job and exploring your passion of becoming a coach and helping people in these areas? Because that's something I think a lot of us dream of doing, but so often it's hard to get that plan or that courage together to actually make that leap. So can you walk us together through some of the things that really helped you develop this passion and get into this area of coaching?
For sure, for sure. So it's really interesting because, like many of us, I grew up thinking and having beliefs around the traditional direction that your life would take. So you go to high school, you go to college or university, get a degree, and get a job, hopefully in a field that will make you, if you made $100,000 a year, then you were doing really, really well. So that was the frame of mind that I always had. So I followed that path. Went to university, got a degree, became a nurse, even got a master's degree, and then just started making around that $100,000 a year income range. And I thought that was great. But then I started to realize that the more money that I wanted to make, the harder I had to work. So maybe it's more hours, working overtime, or go into a higher management role where the pressure is more hours, no breaks, working on the weekends, and then you only get a little bit of a raise. So I was doing all of that and felt just like, almost like I'm working so hard. And then I came across network marketing industry and I saw a different way. So I started meeting people who were working from the comfort of their homes, or working while they're traveling, working for themselves, and making even more money than I was. And I just loved this. I thought, oh my gosh. So then I got the vision. I caught the vision of what was possible. And I started moving towards that. But when I really knew that I had to make a change was when I really started to do my own personal development work. So I started to work on myself and my own self-confidence. And I started to really believe in what I could achieve. So once I had 100% belief in my ability to create that for myself, that's when deciding to resign from nursing made the most sense. So essentially, I faced the fear, having a faith in what I was going to be able to create. So now it's so fun because network marketing ended up being a stepping stone to me. And now I'm in the personal development field. That's what I do like every day now. So now I help people to learn that fear is actually a natural thing that happens when you're about to do something outside of your comfort zone. So I help people all the time to make choices and decisions that will take them and stretch them to grow rather than keep them where they are. So that's just like kind of how I got there, but it's just been such an incredible journey.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Often when we think of fear, it's like, oh, move away from that. But I love how you reframe that as this is kind of a signal that you need to step into this area and actually grow yourself a little bit in
Yeah.
order to make your dream life become a reality or make your dream business become a reality. So using fear as a signal for good rather than to avoid it is a cool mindset shift that you've already taught our community. Thanks for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And there's actually there's even a little bit more to it. So if you think about your current way of thinking and the current results that you have in your life,
Mhm.
so if you want to level up, let's say, you want to level up, you start to think about things that are going to take you outside of your current thinking. So when you make decisions based on your current results, they're comfortable. And
Mhm.
so there's no fear. So when you're actually going to level up, that's when you're entertaining an idea that's actually going to push you into that new level. So, Bob refers to it as a terror barrier. And so you hit that wall, and so you have a choice. Are you going to stay at that wall and have that internal struggle, or are you just going to push through to the other side where you're going to grow and where, so much more can happen. And most people, when they get to the other side, they're like, "Whew, that wasn't so bad." But we tend to just stay there and like think about it for a really long time, and it just causes us more internal struggle.
Oh man, I totally get that feeling. I know we've all done that. Is you just fester in these ideas and they just get you this resistance for actually taking action, but we don't realize that that action is probably a lot more doable than our anticipation is allowing us to see it through. So that's
Absolutely.
such a good
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
if you're breaking it down and you're thinking about if someone is first starting their business and they have this fear sort of guiding them, but they're not sure on some first steps to take or how to kind of break this fear down, could you walk us through just a few really actionable tips that you might give some of your clients as a coach when it comes especially to business mindset for small businesses or solopreneurs?
Oh, for sure. So, of course, they're mindset focused, but the first thing that I would say is to use a method called the 333 method.
Ooh, I love.
So, I can go really deep into this, but basically, whenever you're about to make a decision, instead of looking at all of the different what ifs, the negative what ifs and the positive what ifs, only focus on the positive what ifs. So, what you're doing is you're shifting your focus and your mindset to all of the things that could go right
Mm,
instead of all of the things that could go wrong. Because oftentimes we think about the negative what ifs and then we talk ourselves out of it. And then we almost rationalize our fears. But oftentimes those what ifs are so unlikely, but we use it as a means to keep us where we are. So the best thing that you can ever do if you're thinking about doing something is to sit down on a piece of paper and just write down every single what if in a positive way. So what if this works? What if my business explodes? What if this is a decision that I make that then turns the page on what I'm about to do and takes me to the next level? Things like that. So I ask those kinds of questions and then only write down um, all the different ways that this could work. So, how could this work into my business? Well, it could do this, it could do that, it could do this. So, it's just reframing your thinking. So, then what you've also done too is you've built confidence in your decision. So then you look back and you're like, well, I have to do this. Like, look at all of these reasons. The other piece I will say too, when it comes to owning your own business and entrepreneurship, is that oftentimes we don't use our intuition.
mm,
And our intuition is our gut feeling. And we need to trust that. Because if you think about the law of attraction, so what you put out, you get back. So if you're emitting tons of positive energy, you have a vision for what you want to create in your business, you will attract back things to help you fulfill that. So you will attract it. So, but what you have to do then is you have to be open to your intuition. You have to be open to the ideas that you're going to get, to the people that are going to come into your life, and to the opportunities that arise, because the universe is giving you what you need to fulfill that. So that's why as soon as you have an idea, trust that intuition and act on it. If you think you want to message somebody, you want to reach out to someone, you want to go and look up something, go and do it, because you've got to trust your gut. It's really, really powerful.
Oh, I love that so much. I think writing things down, especially like you were mentioning with that 333 exercise, is something that everyone should get into the habit of doing. Especially as Kathleen was mentioning here, it's so important because your brain actually starts to look for ways to make that happen. If you've written it down throughout your day,
Yep.
your brain is going to remember that. It's going to look for the littlest thing that you can do to push yourself closer to that goal. So, you guys, take this advice so seriously and start those lists, and start to put that positive energy into momentum. I completely agree with everything there.
Yeah.
So for this last little bit, I'd love to shift gears a little bit and ask you how you use social media in your own coaching business to connect with new clients, to raise your brand awareness about who you are, and to make sure that it's going to be a great fit if someone does sign up to have a coaching service with you. How you use, like I said, social media in order to gain the right
Yeah.
kind of clients.
Oh, that is so fun. It's so funny that I'm like, you just asked me this question because I just actually finished a course today on how I've used social media to launch my coaching business. So I started with social media in my network marketing business. It was so great because I feel like I got an MBA on how to run social media for small businesses. And so now what we do, I have a whole team. We are Diamond Academy now. We've created, which is a success network, work within an academy with me, but we all use social media in so many different ways. We all brand ourselves as us, and we show people who we are and our lives that we live to attract people to us that want to have the same sort of results or actions in their life. So, I'm an entrepreneur, so then entrepreneurs tend to follow me. So we use attraction and curiosity marketing both ways. We've also used Messenger, so direct message, to actually network and build relationships and connections with people. And then we've created communities. So, my Instagram is a community, my Facebook profile is its own community, and then we have a Facebook group, which is a community as well. So we've really, really been able to leverage giving people a place where they feel like they're included, that they're involved, that they have a positive space to join. And, even with giving people tons of free value, the more you get, the more value you give, the more you'll be able to graciously receive when those people are ready to expand and learn more from you. So we never feel like we're giving too much. We just give, and create this beautiful community. And then it helps to grow our business like organically, essentially.
That's really wise. I love especially that first bit about making sure that you're putting your own self out there. And that's what's going to attract like-minded people,
Yeah.
because we get a little afraid sometimes to share those personal details on our business
Yeah.
Facebook. But that's truly what's going to get you the best connections, and it's going to build your community fastest, is having a real person show up on your feed. So I think that's fantastic advice. Well, this has been a wealth of knowledge for our community. Thank you so much for sharing all of your tips. We will go ahead and put the links where you can get in touch with Kathleen if you're interested in the description here. Give this video a like if you're going to take anything from us, and let us know what other topics you guys are interested in learning. Kathleen, thank you so much for all of your time and wisdom today.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely.